I was born September the 28th, 1915, at a place they call Daniel, near Winfield, Maryland. I've had several experiences, but one of the greatest, I guess, well, of course, I went to mixed school. I went from here to New Jersey. I went to mixed school. That was in 30. And I think one of the greatest things was you and I we're all human. We're all God's children. God put life in all of us. Why should you and I, because of the color of our skin, be separate from the other? Because most of us are mixed up anyhow. We're mixed up on both sides. It was a time when if I was caught talking to the white woman too much, I may not live to see another day. That was in my time. But still, the white man, he could talk, he could whatever to the black, to our parents, to our women. So it's one of the greatest things I think has ever happened. I never thought that God would leave me here long enough. After King made that march, I said it was one of the greatest things. But now we got a black president. I never thought I would ever see a black man to find out all that politics. I've known politics for many years. Of course, you youngsters, you'll just learn from what's coming now. But this is one of the greatest things. Why? Because who put him there? The young generation, and both white and black. They got him. We're finding out things now that we never knew before, because politics was always something that you heard what they wanted you to hear or wanted you to know. But we didn't know anything when it comes to politics. So that's it.
How was segregation in Carroll County?
You go in the back. They had a back window, back door. You order your sandwich. The only thing that they didn't refuse was that money. They would accept that money from your hand to mine. But you didn't go inside. Now that is the truth. And not only in my area, but it was all over. I was, of course, you fellows never you've heard of Salisbury.
Yeah.
That was the worst place I believe I've ever been.
Really?
In Salisbury. And Pocomoke. Pocomoke was further, was right against Virginia line, New Church. I worked as a contractor, building highways. God gave me the knowledge I could do most anything. Operator. I had 9 men that worked for me. In this case, I was over here on 70 and 40. It goes from east to west. So we put in from 32 to a place called Mount Airy. Williams Construction. That's where I started. It was, well, 7 miles, but it was in 2 contracts. They bid on the jobs. So we put in the first, and we had equipment there, and he got the second section. So they took me and sent me to Pocomoke. I went to Pocomoke. They had, well, it was no place for enjoyment. It was all farmland. You didn't think we had as many black people in the area as we had, but the weekend was just the same as around here. Around in Carroll County. You'd come to Westminster, boy, the streets were crowded at the weekends. Down there was the same way. But you couldn't go in any stores to buy anything. You had little country stores around here and there. You bought. So as I said, if you bought anything, you took it away from that store, you paid for it. But if it didn't work, you couldn't bring it back and get your money or get something changed. That was yours. So going back to went to Salisbury, to Pocomoke, I went down with the superintendent. We left one evening. It was dark. We got down there about 3:15. I'd never been to the place. So I was to go down and find a place for my men to live and this thing and the other. So he pulled in the back of his place was an alley drive and parking lot back there. He got out, went inside. I couldn't go inside. It was about 3:15. The next morning he came out. I stayed in the pickup. Next morning he came out and he went on the job. So he told me to take the pickup and try to find a place for my men to live. Well, I found a place. We all stayed in two places, but it was nice people, as far as I know. But we were right around the store from a store that was operated by blacks. They sold canned goods, and they had a bar there where you could get beer, or that's all they sold, beer or ale. And so 2 days after I was down there, we got to talking. It was down to earth. They had one movie. We set up the top, the whites set at the bottom. And so they told us 2 days before I went down there, they killed a black boy. They drug him around town behind a car. They did nothing about it. The last time I was down 3 times. The last time I was there, we put 7 miles of road from Pocomoke to New Church. That was concrete. And the last time I was down there, things had made a change. you had a black movie, and you know things made a change. But it's just like our Reverend King. He made that was one of the greatest things that ever happened. Our people listened to him. They took whatever was thrown at them and did. But that changed the way of all the states. They gradually came into it, of mixed schools. You may not get the opportunity to be classed as the student that you are. But I think it's getting better.